So first thing I'd like to get your views on, before we go into the real question, I'd like you to share with us the most exciting thing that your company has done or is doing right now this year in 2023. Because this year is such an ordinary, extraordinary year because a lot of good things, bad things happen at the same time. So what is the most exciting thing that your company has done, has been doing, or is doing right now? So, Ning Ning?
I think definitely generative AI. We started generative AI journey end of last year. And we realized that that's something that no one can teach us. We have to just do ourselves. We have such a huge number of the global partners. So we have to really looking for their pain points and looking for a solution, what we can solve using these technologies. So by mid-year, we actually start deploying our solutions and deploy globally thousands of advertising partner, publish our using. And what I learned is this is make a huge differences. How they operate, how they make their business, how fast they can make money, and how they can quickly make their operation more efficient. So I think this is a breakthrough this year. I think there's a lot of things going to happen in the coming years.
So certainly AI gives us a lot of excitement this year. And also for blockchain, crypto, and NFT, this year is also a very, big turmoil this year. So I'd like to get from Wayne as well, that the most exciting thing your company did this year.
Sure. We're super excited about two achievements this year. One is the Singapore Major Payment Institution license. It's kind of like a narrow bank license, right? So it allows us to almost operate like a bank. We cannot do maturity transformation in the underlying. We cannot make loans, but other than that, we can have a SWIFT code, we can create accounts, bank accounts for our users to deposit, withdraw, pay cross-border. We can offer Forex services. And of course, we can offer leverage stablecoins as payment rail and also offer digital currency, digital asset exchange services. So it's quite an exciting achievement. It's taken us almost 3 years to work with the Singaporean regulator to achieve this in principle approval. On the other hand, we launched the Unitas protocol, which is a fully decentralized stablecoin protocol on the Ethereum mainnet. So we have one fully regulated commercial entity offering neobanking services that's heavily using crypto and stablecoins, and then we have a fully decentralized stablecoin protocol as an infrastructure. Both of these are targeting small, medium businesses and individuals in emerging markets.
Thank you, Wayne. And for John, the most exciting thing Silicon Valley Ventures has been doing this year?
Yeah, I was invited to Switzerland in 𝗂𝒏𝒄 Valley October for Web3 conference by 𝗂𝒏𝒄 Labs, and I met many investors, family offices has invested crypto and Web3 projects for last couple of years, and there was their 10 years anniversary for 𝗂𝒏𝒄 Valley, and I see crypto winter is now, but some of them are actually still alive, like you, and going to make the spring and the summer, hot summer next year, hopefully. And also in Japan, we have so many Web3 events this year, like surprisingly a lot. IVS, WebEx, maybe you heard about our friends from Silicon Valley and Washington, D.C. Circle. My friend made it to $5 billion actually valuation, nearly becoming a decacorn. They are sponsor of our friends' event, WebEx. And also we have many space tech events in Japan. Our friends had an IPO in the space tech industry, and our company actually tried to make a new fund for only investing in space.
So that will be the next thing, right? Not this year, but perhaps for 2024 or moving forward.
Yeah.
To invest in the space.
Yeah, space, because our in Japan IPO, like API had IPO 2 years ago, and 3 to 4 IPOs from the space tech companies in Japan. So probably next year, more space tech startup will go IPO in Japan.
I'm just curious, why this big shift from this Web3 to space? That's it's a big leap. So why is that?
My passion is space, medtech, education, art, and Web3. That's why people call me Crazy John. but all connected. Investors are actually all looking for future. Entrepreneurs, each individuals making a new future, and I think it's not Web3 space. MedTech is not separated.
It seems to me that your investment style is somehow influenced by Masayoshi Son, the founder of SoftBank, because he also make very audacious bets on various kind of very advanced technology.
So my actually style is very unique. I'm not owning the fund, running the fund. I'm advisor of many different funds, and different funds has a different actually theme. One only consider Web3, one only consider MedTech. Like that's why I became a venture partner on B-Health Ventures. One only consider AI, generative AI, so all different. So I'm not Masayoshi-san. I'm a new style, new investor.
Thank you for this very diversified kind of investment style. What about you? When I think you probably will be more focused moving forward for the year like 2024 or ahead. What will be something that you like to share with us that you see as opportunity or potential opportunities?
Opportunities in the next 5 years, 5 to 10 years. Is that
starting from like 2024.
2024. Yeah. So I'll to describe, because we're doing fintech, and to describe the opportunities that we see, I'll share a personal story. I spent a lot of time growing up in the U.S. and I came back to Taiwan for high school. Okay, I was in high school and in history class, I went to 𝗂𝒂𝒏𝒅𝒆𝒓. I told my classmates and my really good friends, this is not the same history. That's the same Chinese history I learned in the U.S. Something's wrong here. I learned a very different version of Taiwan and China's history, right? And my friends were debating with me. I'm like, okay, look, guys, let's go to the library, the public library, and let's pull out the British encyclopedia and let's say what the encyclopedia says, right? So we all decided to, a lot of them lived in Banqiao. So we went to Banqiao Wenhua Zhongxin library, we pulled out encyclopedia, C for Chiang Kai-shek, right? Flipped to that page, finally revealing the truth, and there was a big sticker on the page, right? By our Taiwanese News Bureau, prohibited, 禁阅, by the News Bureau, because at the time, media was controlled, mass communication was controlled in Taiwan. We wanted to print our own newspapers in high school. Police came and seized our newspaper, not allowed, don't have license. We wanted to run a radio station, not allowed. TV programs, forget it. Also in college, when I built this Skype-like program, everybody's telling me, you're going to jail because you don't have a telecom license and you're allowing people to make phone calls through the internet. But today, all of these, strictly regulated industries in the past, now we're having so much innovation because you really just cannot stop technology, right? When internet came about, you cannot control the media anymore. And when now everybody's doing online streaming and podcast, you can't control that. And so I see a lot of opportunity with new finance and banking industries starting in Singapore and the UAE. And they are, for example, Singapore's Orchid project, they call it purpose-bound money. What does that mean, purpose-bound money? That means using blockchain technology, you can now allow money innovation, and you can allow licensed financial institutions to develop and innovate different types of money rails, and you can now let money compete. And I see that as great opportunity that was not available to fintechs and banks in the past.
I'm just curious too, given the FTX incident last year and the recent Binance incident, has that impacted the Web3 or the crypto or digital asset industry in general?
Yeah, it definitely has. I think we would have gotten the MPI in principle approval. Well, we were told that if it wasn't for FTX, we would have gotten it.
It's a blessing for you. It's kind of curse for them, but blessing for you, right?
It delayed us for a year and a half. But I think it's a natural progression. You're going to have to, the industry will have to take time to weed out, the not so good players and eventually let the good players thrive.
So thank you, Wen. I think in you we see this disruptive DNA, even going back to high school, that started a newspaper, violating the kind of rules back then, try to break the rules, right? So that's what we always see in entrepreneurs. It's a very important characteristics. So Nining, what about you? What about the business opportunity or potential you see for next year and perhaps the next 3 years, starting from 2024?
Okay, 𝗂𝒏𝒊 is a global company, okay, which means that we also have employees in Ukraine and also Israel. So we see very clearly that the global resources are really sucking into those conflicts. And all the countries, they are in this arm race, invest heavily in AI technologies. Okay, and I'm an AI person, so I'm looking for what has been really money spent on. For example, the military drone technologies, such as cybersecurity, cyber warfare, and image gathering, and the communication interceptions. We can go on and on. And not only those countries are involved in the conflict are really investing in AI, so is the rest of the world. And I think there's a chasing in trying to who can come up with the best solutions, which tell me there are great opportunity outside these areas for AI. And I think we just heard from the Vice President talk about Taiwan's opportunity in climate change. I mean, he also mentioned about this global climate conference this week, and President Biden decided not to attend because all the conflicts he had to deal with, which leave a big vacuum for all the world's AI communities. Also, the people are interested in climate tech and try to invest in those areas. For example, not just think about the military drones, think about commercial drones. There's so much things we can do to solve real-time problems. And for example, for the climate changes, have you think about using generative AI to develop some kind of special material to deal with the carbon, the footing? And there are so much things, there's no money, and the people are left to think about they're not important, but they are more important. Have you think about the climate changes affecting the world more than those man-made conflicts? So I'm really looking for the opportunities that where even all the resource has been sucking into military spends, and we should really focus on where's all the customer needs and using AI and all the other means try to solve those problems.
Do you foresee that AI, especially Gen AI, is going to be like as popular as this year, I mean, moving forward?
I think the trends, all of the stations, okay, even the people know the VCs not investing in a lot of different areas, but generative AI, I think there's a lot of money left behind. And I think the cautious point is not try to build a thin layer of the general solution, but really looking for the customer pain point and really looking at the real data and really finding the solution can leapfrog the overall how the people doing their business, how the technology can help in the social problem, for example, the aging problems. So I see this is a really pivotal, transformative technology can make huge differences in the next coming years. I see where there's real opportunities using generative AI. Maybe some of the job will be displaced, but for all the professional, okay, not the technical people, I would say 90% of people, your life will be changed. And even the kids doing the homework, I think that without ChatGPT, 2 weeks ago, ChatGPT went down and all the kids panic in the whole world. And so we need to figure out how to, using the technology, I know the 𝗂𝒏𝒊, the superhumans coming out. So think about how you can maximize the good things and minimize the bad thing and make some contribution to the world. Climate changes. Okay, think about that.
Thank you, Nining. Next question goes to John. As you mentioned in your brief speech that Japan is very aggressive now, moving in the direction of helping the startups, entrepreneurs, which is very different from like 5 or 10 years ago. So I think most people are curious like me, so what's driving that change? And for the local startup and entrepreneurs here in Taiwan, if want to leverage Japan's resource or collaborate with Japanese partners, how can they do that?
Thank you, John, for a great question. And who wants to go Japan? Everyone? Cool.
I think at least more than half.
Yeah, that's the easiest market, I think. Consider with the other countries. People are friendly, and however, and now they have money. However, one thing is like a language barrier. So both countries actually good people, but Japanese people don't speak English, so that's the biggest challenge. But besides that, if you have a local partners speak English, I think it's the easiest market to enter.
And also, what's driving the change for Japan to shift from which we previously consider a more conservative country, now embracing the innovation and startups?
So, like from our side, because even like a government or anybody, big bosses stop us. We are entrepreneurs. We don't care about the trends or anything. We create a future. We just gonna do it. But 99% of Japanese people, salarymen, we call it. When boss or government says, let's do it, they just follow it. When they stop it, gone. They just become a boring laborers, I shouldn't say. But now government said, let's do it. So now everyone said, let's do it. So they are just working for it. But when Japanese people are serious, very serious. So many startup events like this almost every week. So I think it's gonna become a bigger than Silicon
So
Valley.
it's government driven.
Government driven. I don't like it because I want passion driven, or dream driven. But it's okay for 99% of people, When they're serious, let's work together. They listen to me. I give them advice. We are working very hard now. So when government, 8 governments, 8 ecosystems welcome to everybody to Japan. So please come to Japan. They are keen to work with you.
So does that mean that more and more young people, like the college graduates, would like to join the startups instead of join the Keiretsu, the big companies,
Yeah.
which is very different from the past?
So young people don't really care about the government policy. They are now passion driven. So they think startup is cooler than big companies. So young people only think 2 things. One is cool, to be cool. Second is to be nice. So SDGs, ESG investment, good for society, social good. Young people learn it. They are nicer than older people. So everyone say, I want to change the society. I want to help people. Okay, come to startup, social startup, or ESG investment VC. So many interns, young people are so keen. Some students, like my student, 8 different internship, 8 different jobs. They don't care money. They just want to do good things for the society. So Nordic countries are very popular. So yesterday, my friend Nordic Ninja, they are VC in Finland. He posted on X, Twitter, 50 young entrepreneurs from Japan asking him so many questions in Finland. Usually in Japan, like this kinds of conference, young people are very shy. But many older people are very shy. But young people keen to ask many questions, keen to work together, keen to change the world now.
Okay, so does that also mean that fundraising becomes easier for you in Japan compared to like 5 or 10 years ago?
Now Japan is easiest for fundraising. Even like very big guys from Silicon Valley, big VCs coming to Japan for raising money. So VCs coming to Japan, startups coming to Japan for raising money.
It just reminds me of, in 1996, which is, 27 years ago, I was sitting next to Masayoshi Son, attending the 20th anniversary of Acer computer. So Masayoshi Son went on stage to say something which I consider unbelievable, but it reminds of that thing again, that like going back like 27 years ago. So yeah, if our audience here have any plan to go to Japan to work with Japan counterparts or to raise Japan capital, so just call this crazy John. Okay, he's here. So what about you? What advice would you give to local startup or entrepreneurs if they want to start up a company next year, or if they want to go in, say, particular the crypto or the DeFi industry? So what advice would we give? Is this a good time, or are there something they should consider?
I can only speak to fintech startups. I think now is a great time. I think you start by really leveraging what you have done in Taiwan to find a big, globally unsolved problem, right? And that is today finally solvable. What is that problem? For us, our co-founders always been doing cross-border import-export. They manufacture in Taiwan. They sell to emerging markets only, Latin America, India, Africa. And cross-border payment is so difficult, right? US dollar shortage problems are really hurting the potentials of the global south and the emerging markets, small, medium businesses. But today, these problems are finally solvable. Why? Because we have governments like Singapore, like the UAE, that's finally put out suitable payments and banking licenses to enable these fintechs to solve these big problems that have not been solved for the past 100 years. So, in my opinion, great timing this year and next.
Thank you, Wen. And Ning, what advice would you give to local startup and entrepreneurs if they want to proceed or they consider, starting up their own?
I think first we heard from 500 Global talk about you didn't have a global mindset. Not just think about the local market and think about what because technology is so universal now, and think about big problems. But also looking for what Taiwan's specific have and don't have. For example, talents, right? Everyone complain about Taiwan have no talents. But think about in our cases, because of the conflicts, all the projects our team in Taiwan have to work with the Ukraine and Israeli colleagues, and they start taking some of the global project, and they start getting a global view. And in some cases, they even take the lead. So we are start developing the really very global-minded talents and utilize it and figure out how we can build some differentiation product. And I just mentioned a few things. What we can apply to Taiwan, solving Taiwan's problem, but also can go globally. I just talk about commercial drones. Rest of the world are looking for high-price tech, military drones, and Taiwan have so many problems. We are the place for very high-end manufacturers, and they need some kind of drone to detect all the manufacturing defects. And we have shorter people in farming, so we can build drones for precision agricultures. And we have in this healthcare, we want to find out a very economical solution for that, which means the precision healthcare or personalized healthcare, and finding new drugs using generative AI. What I try to say is there's a lot of local problem can be applied globally, and there's a lot of problem no one else paying attention. So let's looking for our differentiations and try to take advantage of our talents and looking for the unique solution and can apply globally. I think that's something definitely there's opportunity for Taiwan's startups.
Ning, so I'd like to follow up this question with John, that because Ning mentioned there are some unique points about Taiwan, and from an outsider's point of view, from like Japan or from a global investor, what is it, or what are the unique strengths you see in Taiwan or the Taiwan startup teams?
So what's the question again?
What are the unique strengths you see as an outsider or global investor in Taiwan's startup teams?
Yeah, semiconductor or SaaS, or you guys are amazing. Also, medtech, medical AI, and you guys Taiwanese people speak very friendly in English, and very easy to become friends with Taiwanese people. I think your heart, your loved heart, friendliness is actually how you grew up in Taiwan. And have Taiwanese whiskey as well. So it's a good place for the pineapple. So I think technology is, of course, India, Israel, Taiwan, everybody is strong with technology, But I think your character, the friendliness, openness to make friends is actually your most strengthness in global market. So you make friends with everybody.
Okay, so first is about the semiconductor and the medical device, and also about the personality part, the friendliness, and I think perhaps the English-speaking capability is okay to communicate. So the same question for Wen and Ning as well, for the local startup teams to go global. So what are some of the things that we need to work on and improve?
Definitely, I think language is very important. Outside here, that we need to speak in English, a global language. But I think there are a couple of things. I think the Taiwan startup used to like to go alone, okay? Not really take advantage of networking, think about the resource. And so I think those of the like I'm part of the member of AAMA, and I really figure out the power of the leverage all the other startup and work together and try to solve a bigger problem in bigger markets. So I think collaboration is very important. And I also saw a lot of AI companies in Taiwan, and they talk about they are company.ai. The problem is that AI require asking the good questions, looking the inside, really understand the customers. So AI is not garbage in, garbage out. Okay, so really try to looking for the customer real problems, and then collecting the data and finding the insight first before you jump in. So I think the collaboration, really looking at the data and also take the advantages, the global mindset and the talent. I think that's a way to go.
That's a good point. That because most staff here in Taiwan are usually engineering driven or technical driven instead of customer driven. So that's a good point. How about you, Wayne?
So you heard what Crazy John said about Taiwanese advantage, right? We're very easy to befriend. We're very open. And I think these observations are not easy, actually, right? So first, I would say we need to figure out, on a global perspective, what's our uniqueness? What's our strength, right? What do we do better? What do you do better than most other entrepreneurs and companies, organizations globally? You first have to understand that, and you have to understand that from a global perspective. You look at the entire globe, and you say, what's our strength? What makes us unique? Okay. Once you figure that out, then you really, again, you go and you look for big problems that hasn't been solvable in the past many years. The pain points are huge. It's highly recurring. People are willing to do something about it, but there hasn't been able to somehow exist a solution, right? And then the timing is now. Once you find that, then that's great opportunity for you. And a lot of that, I think, you really need to make a lot of friends, broaden your social network so that you can not only understand your own strength from a global perspective, but also understand big pain points of, maybe the global south, emerging markets, big unresolved pain points outside of Taiwan.
Thank you, John. Something to add?
Yeah, I remember when I interviewed Apier when they had an IPO for my fourth Japan Clam. I asked them, how did you become so big? Because they hired good people. So the couple, wife and husband, on the weekend, Saturday they fly from Taiwan to Tokyo, 8 different interviews by themselves in the hotel, in the lobby. Sunday morning they fly to Singapore, 8 interviews again. So now, goosebumps, I got so impressed. So with their eyes, with their heart, as your CEO, not asking recruiting company for everything. You just try to meet local new friends, new partners by yourself. So you're making a family by yourself. Not just strangers send you the people. Your employees are your partners. So I got so impressed by how they actually become so big. And also another thing, I asked them, why not NASDAQ, not US? Well, because they have customers in Japan. And once Japanese customers become your customers, they are actually not running away. I don't know if it's good or bad, but you need to actually work so hard to find good people, good customers for long-term relationship. It's just like a family, So I just want to share my actually insights from Apier.
Thank you for your insights. And before I wrap up, anything to add, something missing from this crystal ball that you'd like to share with our audience, John and Ning Ning?
I think Taiwan startups are so busy looking for outside, but never think about what's Taiwan's really your strength and your uniqueness. I got a chance to visit the ministers of the digital affairs, Audrey Tang. So we talk about some of the very difficult problems in the world, cybersecurity, privacy, or even the content verification process. I was very surprised. Taiwan actually is at the forefront of some of the technology, having some idea how to solve it. And I think Taiwan startup, when you any company want to go global, you have to think about all the ethical concerns, all the global regulations. But Taiwan having certain solution or technology and have a government willing to support you to go out. So if Taiwan can come up with some kind of AI good regulations compliant with global standards, and this is what all the world is moving in that directions, I think Taiwan will be really in the crisp leading position there. Another thing I think about is we are really not take advantage of what we already have. Is our people, our integrities, our honesty, our kindness, and our selflessness. And I think I reflect to what John said. Taiwan people are very friendly, but those are the quality, earn the trust. People willing to trust, invest in you, willing to work with you, and because we Taiwanese, that's our qualities. And finally, things is talk about stability. Have you think about we as a company have went through employee disappear in 2 different countries, and because of conflicts. And look at today, there are so many people here coming from global, different countries because Taiwan has been proven we are a safe and sound. So investors willing to invest. So let's keep that way. Thank you.
Thank you, Ning. Wayne?
I can share my views for some advice maybe for Web3 startups. I really encourage Web3 entrepreneurs to think about long-term, like really long-term, and to think about what important pain points can Web3 solve for the world. Because I see too many teams, Web3 teams, that are just looking for very short-term opportunities, the next 2 years, the next 3 years. I really think that blockchain is a world-changing technology, but in order to leverage that technology and really make an impact in this world, you need to think in terms of a 10-year outlook, right? In 10 years, what do you want to do to change what parts of the world and make what types of people's lives better?
Okay, thank you three for sharing your insights to help us zoom in the future, see the crystal ball about what's next and what's ahead. So thank you, Ning, Wayne, and John. Okay, big applause for them for their insights. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you for being a great moderator, John.
Yes, thank you, John.
Thank you, my pleasure.